Okay then, let's do this. We have a very special guest on this morning's show. A very familiar face, presently featuring on a BBC primetime television show. Ladies and gentlemen, what a delight to speak to the Apprentice's Jade English. Very good morning, Jade.
Good morning, Dan. How are you doing?
I'm very well, thank you. Firstly, thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule to speak with us this morning.
No, it's fine. Thanks for having me.
That's all good. It's a pleasure. Now, you are currently riding high in this year's series of the Apprentice. Out of all the candidates, you are the one who is showing great promise. With Claude last night complimenting you, saying you are an absolute sales machine.
Couldn't believe it when I was sat watching it with my girlfriends, and when he said that, we were all sat around beaming. It was lovely to hear. I really enjoyed this task as well. It was a lot of fun jumping around, interacting with everybody. So, yeah, it was good. And then the win last week was obviously great as well. So it's been good so far.
Yes, you're having a good run. That's an accolade, isn't it, Claude?
Yeah, definitely.
You. So, I said to you, you do stand out from the crowd. How crucial is it to stand out from the crowd?
Everybody else, because I still speak to a lot of the candidates, has been noticed on the street and everything, but nobody's noticed me yet. So as much as you say that, it doesn't feel any different, other than the fact that on a Wednesday evening, I'll sit and watch myself on the television, but it is a really bizarre experience. But it's all fun, just got to take it as it comes, really.
Well, I'm glad you're enjoying it. And you done the robot test, that really interested me. And how do you think technology will be in business in the future? Do you reckon it's already happening, the changeover?
I think the thing is, we live in a generation at the moment where everything is evolving so quickly. So something that may be new one week is old by the next. Mm-hmm. And I think it's a really difficult time, to be honest with you, to be around with all the technology, because everyone's always striving to have more, and it is really difficult in the fact that once you have something, like I said, it becomes old pretty soon. So it is exciting, but I do think it puts a lot of societal pressures on people, to be honest with you. So
you've got to move with the times, haven't you, with the technology, I suppose. Always keep updating your technology. So I wanted to ask on the programme, when your alarm clocks go off and you see them all rushing to get to their chauffeurs, how long do you take to get ready? Because it seems like one mad rush in the morning.
So people ask me this all the time, and they don't believe that you have 20 minutes. But I'm telling you now, you have 20 minutes to get ready, but you just have to learn to be a lot more prepared. And I'm very good at doing my makeup very quickly now. And I just made sure that I did my hair the night before. And I also had a little booklet of outfits just so I could be prepared for the day and have no unexpected twists in the morning.
Oh, well, thanks for sharing that. I've always wanted to know that. So we saw last night the boys registered their first win, didn't they?
Yeah, at long last.
But the ladies still lead by 2 wins.
Yes, we do.
Is the rivalry between the boys and the girls as competitive as it comes across on the show?
Do you know what? When you're in the process yourself, you're so involved in what you're doing on that task. As you can imagine, building brands within a day or selling candy floss at Wembley in a day it takes over, that you don't really think about the other team until you get into the boardroom, and then obviously the competitiveness kicks in. Mm-hmm. I think me personally, I just strive to be the best that I possibly could, and if you work together as a team as well, then you'll win. But sometimes it's difficult because there is so much pressure on you. However, hopefully you'll see that the teams pull together a bit more next week and we can go on and win.
Yeah, look forward to it. I have to ask, what is the great Lord Alan Sugar like?
So he's exactly what you see on the TV. You don't get to see him an awful lot, to be honest with you. He really does just interact with you on the boardroom days. And he's he's very to the point, and I guess that's what's got him where he has in
Wow.
business.
Yeah.
So no airs and graces
Yeah.
about him.
I love his sense of humour. I think it really has me in stitches. You know the mannerisms and the laconic humour. He really does seem like he takes it in his stride.
Yeah, he's got his niche, hasn't he?
Yeah. So moving on, how is life in London in comparison to back home? Because you're a bit of a northern lass, if I'm correct.
Yes, I am. So I'm from Cheshire, just outside of Manchester. Mm-hmm. And do you know what? I love London. I love the buzz about it. There's just a side street in London is the equivalent of my town.
Wow.
In Manchester. So I absolutely loved living there. And I imagine at some point in the future, I'll be in London, and I just love it there. It's got so many nice restaurants. I'm such a foodie, so that's a big selling point for me.
Wonderful. So with London, there's a pub on every corner, isn't there? It is a big like town. It's a big world, isn't it, out there?
Yeah, I feel like I've got so much more to explore as well.
Yeah. So you said my favourite word, food, and that was one of my questions. So I'll go on to that. What's your favourite food? And I also understand you like travel as well. So what's your favourite food, and which part of the world would you recommend to our listeners to visit?
Oh, okay. I love all food. So I think if my death row meal would be, this is probably not what you would expect, but I love a full English with everything, black pudding, hash browns, all that. But I do love Vietnamese food. It's so fresh and it's light. It's really cheap to make as well, but it's really healthy. And so I went to Asia,
yeah,
and I would say that Vietnam's my favourite place in the world. It's just a beautiful, beautiful place, and the people there are so kind and welcoming, and it hasn't been spoiled yet like the places like Thailand. So it's lovely. That's where I'd recommend. But I also went to Iceland not that long ago, Reykjavik. And wow, it is amazing there. Extortionate, but worth every penny.
Wow,
lovely.
Thank you for sharing that. Good choices, good choices. Right then, so moving on. So do you believe success is no accident, and you have to strive, study, sacrifice, persevere, learn to get where you want to?
So when I was at school, I did actually struggle. I'm not somebody, I have a lot of energy. I'm not somebody who can particularly sit in a classroom. So that I did struggle with. And I also think it's a lot to do with positive thinking. I'm not naturally a positive thinking person, I don't think it's in human nature to think the best of yourself necessarily. So I read books to try and help me with that. There's one I definitely recommend called Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway. And also the book The Secret, so where if you imagine something and you use positive reinforcement, then it'll happen. And actually, I believe what got me on the show is I stuck a check on my ceiling for 250,000 off Lord Sugar, and I imagine myself getting it every day, and I think that's what got me on the show.
Wow,
so,
wonderful.
There you go.
So, having said that, anything is possible if you put your mind to it.
100%, yeah. There's no limit. If you can think it, then you can make it happen.
Brilliant.
Without a shadow of a doubt.
So, moving on, in your opinion, are we any closer to having more women in the boardroom, or is there still a way to go?
Do you mean in terms of the show?
I think whole round, like in business and the show as well, if you wanted to add to that as well.
So I think it's really difficult for women in business because there is such a fine line between being authoritative and coming across as bossy. We are constantly told that we need to be sexy, but we can't be promiscuous. We need to be strong, but we can't be too bossy. So it is really difficult. And also, we have to have babies. We're the ones that carry them. So there is that 9 month to a year period where we might not necessarily be able to do what males are able to do. It is tricky because, I don't know, it is something that needs to be addressed because I'm telling you now, my friends are some of the most intelligent, successful women I've ever met, but did they get the kudos that they deserve? Not necessarily all the time, which is a shame. So hopefully that's something that women being on TV and showing that we can be strong businesswomen can only push to bring to the forefront of people's minds.
Thank you for that one. Very valid point as well. I know Beyonce made a statement with a song called "Run the World Girls," didn't she? So maybe we can play that as well. So with employment at an all-time high and more jobs now having hundreds of applicants, if you had to give one key of advice to a job interview candidate, what would it be?
Believe in yourself. If you can go into a job interview and just think, I deserve this, because at the end of the day, if you don't believe in yourself, then nobody else is going to. In fact, I'm doing a charity run for charity Girls Out Loud, and that's about believing in yourself, because I do think a lot of the time it's almost frowned upon to have confidence within your abilities, and it shouldn't be that way. So if anybody does want to donate to that, my Just Giving page is Jade English -10k.
Oh, well, thank you. You've just answered my next question for me. Yeah, that was going on to your 10-kilometre run for charity. So yeah. So our listeners, if you want to say that again for them, if they just missed that one again. Okay,
so if you would like to go to my website, you can get all the details there as well. So that's jadeenglish.com, and you'll be able to find out about my Just Giving run for Girls Out Loud. And it just, if I can even help just one other person believe in themselves and go on to achieve great things, then I can leave the world a better place, which would be quite nice, wouldn't it?
Wow. And now about the music. What kind of music do you like when you get a chance to listen to in your own time?
Do you know what? I like a little bit of everything. Mm-hmm. I do love the 90s stuff, if I'm honest.
Good choice.
And yeah, I like a little bit of everything. I like Toxic that you just played by Britney Spears. In fact, I think I did a school dance to that when I was younger, so it took me right back.
Oh, wow. Well, Jade, I think that about wraps it up there.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been lovely.
Yeah, it's wonderful speaking to you. You're a wonderful person, and we've got to get to know more about you as a person, and best of luck with the show. And,
thank you very much.
And hopefully we can catch up again with your progress at a later date.
Absolutely, and have a great day.
Yeah, okay, Jade, all the best, and
bye.
And good luck. Bye now, bye. So that was our Jade there. Thank you very much for Jade for taking the time to speak to us. The Apprentice there, and you can see her next Wednesday, 9 p.m. on BBC One. Righty-ho.